The sea-run cutthroat trout, affectionately referred to as cutty, is the mascot of the West Coast Fly Fishers Association. In the beautifully and sensitively rendered version that we owed to the local native artist Charlene George, the cutties adorn our website and our club outfits. The cutties are local, they are wild, and they provide great sport, hence we treat them with respect. The cutties are pursued in these gorgeous surroundings amid so much other wildlife. The wildlife that a few hours ago was at the bottom of the harbor. The gulls, the ducks, the cormorants, eagles, sea otters. Most of them merely ignore us. The seals seem to check us out. I have learned that seals need to be watched. Some of them here in Sooke specialize on stealing hooked fish from the lines of anglers. That is in strict contravention to the catch and release policies that apply in the region. Sea-run cutties leave the freshwater drainages where they are born and migrate to the ocean. They are vagabonds, gypsies. They do not go remotely as far as their rainbow trout cousins, the steelhead trout, and they get neither as big nor as ferocious as their larger cousins. But they make up for that by their elusiveness. As they are gypsies of the estuaries, one has to find them before one can catch them. And even if found, they are not necessarily caught, as today's experience showed again. We pursue the cutties mainly in the spring and in the fall. My own favorite is the spring chase. In spring, millions of chum salmon fry migrate to the ocean immediately after they emerge from the redds in the rivers where they were hatched. The cutties pursue them vigorously. We anglers, in turn, pursue the cutties by imitating the chum fry with our flies. At least, that is the simple version of the tale. But it ain't necessarily so. And that is what I want to show here. Today's experience, well, it was a day when we had it all. Clear, slightly overcast skies, temperature around 12 degrees centigrade, no wind, hence a water surface clear as a mirror, disturbed by nothing but the occasional boat or some wild ducks here and there. Ideal conditions for spotting cutthroat trout sign. And most importantly, the cutties were there. At least they had been for several days now. I was out at my favorite spot in the morning at 9:30, an hour before low tide, and probably a bit longer before one can hope for any action to commence. This gave me time to enjoy the surroundings. After arriving, I did a few casts, more to get into the practice than expecting to hook a fish. I never saw some fish that jumped around me until I rendered the video. But there was not much action at this early time. There was nothing much else to do but to sit back, watch, and wait for the action to start. Just a few minutes after the turn of the tide, the action did start. With an electrifying jolt, I saw the fish jumping. As if on cue, my friend Kyle arrived. Kyle and I had met the day before for the first time. As is not uncommon among fly fishers, we immediately struck an enjoyable relationship. Kyle told me that he had caught 16 cutties on the previous day. I had caught 1 the same day. Kyle is not boastful. I believe him. During the time we fished together yesterday, he caught 5, while I caught merely another 1. What must have made the difference was him using greenish, shrimpy fly patterns, while I was using chum fry imitations. I had caught 1 fish every day so far for 3 days, and I had experienced already that the patterns tied with pale mallard flank were less productive than those tied with the darker brown teal or merganser flank or mallard flank dyed olive. But greeny, flashy patterns, who would have imagined, let alone known? Well, Kyle did. Anyway, I was glad that Kyle was there again, because that gave me a real opportunity to record everything from spotting the sign of trout to catching one. That was what I had hoped for most of all.
To the right.
So now I concentrated on videoing what was happening. Well, a lot, and nothing was happening. Every now and then a troop of lively trout came by, breaking the surface, jumping, and going after whatever, probably the chum fry migrating out to sea. Often by the time we saw them, it was too late to get them into the camera, and we were only able to record the tail of events. If able to pick up the early signs and to anticipate where they would appear, we were able to catch their antics on video. Kyle was usually well positioned and immediately cast for them, but he did not get any takers. This happened not only once. After it had happened a second and a third time, Kyle was getting ready to leave for some lunch. It was noontime after all. But when he had packed up and was leaving, another school of trout broke the surface. Again Kyle went back, cast again, and again had no takers. With only a bit of frustration, Kyle left again, only to be called back into action by yet another school of trout. This time he connected.
Good. Great.
What a gorgeous fish. And would you believe it, a mere 3 minutes later, another school had again shown action, and Kyle hooked yet into another fish, an even better one.
It looks like a good sized one. I'll get the net again.
Oh, they're rising out there again.
What?
They're more rising out there.
What a delight to get this beautiful, wild, indigenous creature in our hands. Maybe anything that requires so much anticipation, so much hoping and planning, is beautiful when one attains it. I don't know. But our cutties strike me as extremely beautiful, and it feels good when we let them go with nothing more than a prick. Some of us have experienced those pricks as well, and with the barbless hooks that we use, it is unimpressive. So we are grateful for our cutties, for our wild trophy fish, the fish that are the mascot of our club. And we are grateful for the hope that in pursuing them we can contribute to preserving Oncorhynchus clarkii in the area.